For reasons that utterly escape everyone involved, you're listening to a bipolar, a schizophrenic, and a podcast. Here are your hosts, Gabe Howard and Michelle Hammer.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a bipolar, a schizophrenic, and a podcast. My name is Gabe, and I have bipolar disorder.
And I'm Michelle, and I'm schizophrenic, and I'm yelling like Gabe is.
No, I wanted you to, match my energy. I want you to be like, I am Michelle!
Gabe, you need to chill the fuck out.
That's not the first time that I've heard this.
Gabe, I have a problem.
You have more than one, but what is the specific problem that we are going to discuss today?
Gabe, I think I gained a whole bunch of weight. I'm not loving it.
Wait, you think you're the fat one?
No, I'm not fatter than you.
Well, okay. First off, why do you think that you have gained a bunch of weight? Did you weigh yourself?
No, I don't have a scale, but I looked in the mirror.
Okay, so you don't know for a fact that you've gained weight. You just feel like you've gained weight based on
how my clothes are fitting, my appearance in the mirror. I don't believe in scales. I think that scales are the devil. So, I don't do that. I'm
now picturing a scale with horns and a tail, just chasing women all over. We've gotten it wrong. We're looking for a red guy with a pitchfork, but in actuality...
Scales are the devil, Gabe. Scales are the devil. Even though Jews don't believe in the devil, scales are the devil. Just say, putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
Scales do exist, and they make many people cry. As you know, Michelle, ever since we started working together, and the first time that we ever got on a stage together, we watched the playback, and the first thing that you said is that your hair looked frizzy. And the first thing that I said was... Holy shit, I am fat, gigantic, ugly, just so fat. Because with just me and you in the frame, my 6'3", 275 pounds, next to your 5'4", not 275 pounds, just made me look so fat. Just so fat. But you told me that I was not fat. You were actually what did you say?
What exactly did I say? You just look broad and built.
Yeah, and you said that I didn't look like I had a beach ball gut.
Yeah, you don't have a beach ball gut.
You were very supportive, and you said, "Look, that's what you look like. You're a big guy. You're a giant of a man, and that's good. You're just convincing yourself that you're ugly because that's what people do. That this isn't based on any fact. You're just looking at your body and you hate it like everybody else, and you need to stop it." It was very good advice. It was kind. You told me that I wasn't ugly.
Well, yes, I guess I was being very nice to you, Gabe. Yes, you're not ugly.
Aw,
yeah.
And you're not fat.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But the tie-in here is, why do we believe this? Why do you believe that you're fat? Like you said, you didn't weigh yourself. You don't know that you've gained any weight. You've just decided that based on your physical appearance in a mirror, there's something you don't like, and now you feel badly about it. Because you feel bad about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Growing up as a woman, I grew up before the whole rage of, oh, love your body for whatever curves. It was all skinny. You gotta stay skinny. You gotta stay skinny. Skinny's what's good. You gotta stay skinny. So, not being skinny, it's almost like you're wrong. You're bad. You're not good. Because, the whole thing now is, have your curves. Look like Kim Kardashian. She has that curvy body. But, growing up in, the early 2000s, really, it was not like that at all.
I hate you so much right now because when you said growing up I fully expected 80s to come out of your mouth. And you just leapfrogged a whole nother decade. And you were like the early 2000s when I was growing up. I'm like, bitch, I had a job, owned a house. It was on my second wife. But you're not wrong. And even some of the messages that we absorb, do you remember the Dove Real Woman campaign?
Yes, I do.
And all of those women were just 2 sizes bigger than all of the skinny women. The Real Woman campaign was you don't need to be a 6. You can love yourself even if you're a 10.
Yeah, and all the plus size models, they're just size 4 and up. Yeah, not even. Yeah. I wish I could be a size 4, please. Come on.
But there's even, my wife pointed out other things. that, now we have, there's a model who's very beautiful, and she's a size 16, 18. Now, I'm a man, I don't understand these, but I'm told that 16, 18 is well into the plus sizes, right?
Yes.
Okay. And my wife wears a size and I know she loves this. She's now like, what the hell are you doing?
She's going to be mad about that one, Gabe.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's for the family. It's for the family. It's for the show. It's for the show. But she said that she'd rather have the size 16, 18 body. And I was like, well, but wait, isn't smaller better? Like this is confusing me because I thought it was all about numbers on a scale. It was all about numbers on the tag. And she said that model has this perfectly hourglass figure, this nice smooth stomach, that while her body is larger, it's still like proportionate and attractive, and it doesn't have, and she started pointing out all of these things on her body that she didn't like, like love handles, etc.
This model, is this in photos though?
I brought that up too. I said, look, this is edited, etc. But my wife said that's not the point. The point is that if they're photoshopping this plus size model, they're still doing to her what they're doing to all of the other women, which makes it impossible for women to have an adequate body image.
Yeah,
because
one of my first internships in the city was with a fashion photographer. The way we used to do the photo editing, all of the retouching was insane. The thing is, the camera they use shows every single flaw on the body. It's so intense. And we go in Photoshop and we take every flaw away, make every dress fit better, make every girl look amazing. I'm telling you straight up, from the person who used to do this, it's fake. It's not real. These dresses, all dresses, when you see a girl in a dress that's made for a clothing line, those dresses are sample size. These models are not. Those dresses all have clips in the back to make them even fit better. And then anything that doesn't look like it doesn't fit perfectly, we make that dress form fit to the body. It's not real.
It reminds me of, I love action movies, and I like James Bond action movies and things like that. And I was watching this special on how they do the special effects for action movies. And James Bond was saying that, he always fights in a suit. He's always got his suit on because he's suave and debonair. And every single move that he does, like a kick or a punch or a duck or a jump or whatever, has a different suit. That way, the suit can be cut in all the different ways. So, for example, if he's just standing there, the suit is tailored so he looks nice and thin. But of course, he couldn't lift his leg up or the pants would split. So when he has to do the scenes where he kicks, he puts on a different suit that is cut so that he can kick. And the same thing with punching. And it just reminds me of all those women's dresses I see where the woman standing up looks gorgeous, but in order to sit down, she has to put her shawl on her lap because there's just not enough dress left.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. And what do you think this does to the public, though? Everybody aspires to be these people they see in the movies and in the magazines, and then people just, feel bad about themselves. I know I used to
It's straight up fake.
When I was younger and I didn't know about all this retouching and everything like that, I wanted to be these women in the magazines. I wanted to be as beautiful as Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all of them. But now I know that's not what it was. And you aspire to be fake, but is it a lie? Do you feel like people need to apologize for what they did? Almost. It's like you fooled kids and you gave young girls low self-esteem, causing eating disorders. Don't people realize that sometimes doing these things is really detrimental to people's health and their minds and bodies and all of that?
Well, but herein lies the problem. What about alcohol and cigarettes or Diet Coke or sugared foods or, I weighed 550 pounds. You know why I weighed 550 pounds aside from untreated bipolar disorder? It's because I was so unhappy that I tried to do all of the stereotypical food things. You ever notice that food is at every celebration? When it's Thanksgiving, what do you eat?
Food.
Yeah, when it's your birthday, what do you eat?
Cake.
And on Christmas, what do you eat?
Chinese food.
Yeah, because you're Jewish.
Yeah.
But I eat, just every single holiday, when somebody passes away, food. When we celebrate big wins. What happens if the lacrosse team wins the championship? What do you all go and do?
go out and party. We never won a championship. I'm sorry.
But I mean, you would have
had a huge dinner. Had a huge dinner. Yeah.
You would have eaten. You would have drank. You would have celebrated. So all of this stuff goes together in my mind. So every time I saw happy people, they were eating. So I thought, oh my God, all I have to do is eat more and I'll be happy. That connected in my brain. Now, I understand my brain was messed up, but that's what I thought. But instead, all it did was make me weigh 550 pounds. Does this mean that the food industry owes me an apology?
I see what you're saying.
Did they do something wrong?
Hold up one sec. We're going to hear from our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.com. Secure, convenient, and affordable online counseling. All counselors are licensed, accredited professionals. Anything you share is confidential. Schedule secure video or phone sessions, plus chat and text with your therapist whenever you feel it's needed. A month of online therapy often costs less than a single traditional face-to-face session. Go to BetterHelp.com/Psych Central and experience 7 days of free therapy to see if online counseling is right for you. BetterHelp.com/Psych Central.
We're back talking about diet, exercise, body image, and probably lacrosse.
When do people, learn good food habits? When are food habits even taught? When are good self-esteem habits taught? I almost feel like those should be classes. Those are something that should be taught in school. But I think those are left to be taught by the parents. But not all parents know how to teach that well.
It gets even worse than that. Think about families with multiple children. And then think about how society pressures you to treat different children of different genders or different age groups. For example, we'll take my family. My family, they encouraged me constantly to play sports because I was a fat kid. So just constantly, you need to get out and exercise. You need to play sports. They were doing this because they didn't want me to be the fat kid, but it made me hate exercise. I didn't like to go outside. I didn't want to play sports. I didn't like any of it. But my brother, he loved sports. He played them all. And for whatever reason, it didn't occur to my parents that he was struggling in school. So they didn't say, hey, you need to get better grades and go to college. But they told their smart kid, hey, you need to exercise more. It just shows that for some reason being fat is bad, but not doing well in school, he plays sports, he'll be fine. And this isn't, I don't want my mom to send me a nasty email. My parents were great parents. They just suffer from the same things that everybody suffers from in life. And what about stay-at-home moms who teach all their daughters to be thin so they can get a man?
Yeah.
I mean, how does that fuck you up?
Your
whole life is to get married.
Do people do that, really?
I would like to think that it happens less and less now, but I read all these articles in the 60s and 70s about whether or not women should go to college if they're already engaged. Because after all, the number one reason that you should go to college is to get your MRS.
I see what you're saying. I got that. It took me a second.
Yeah.
It took me a second. I got that.
And these are in national magazine. This is a discussion that America was having in the middle class, in the upper middle class, in the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s about a woman's role. And people didn't like the idea of women getting jobs. And even today, in 2019, there's still disparity in the workplace when it comes to pay or power or position or opportunity. So imagine if this is this way in 2019, imagine how it was in 1950, 60, 70.
Good point.
And how does this affect the way that we build our self-esteem up? And then, Michelle, my final point, and what this has all been leading to, is how do you teach that to somebody like us? You know, our parents didn't know that we had bipolar and schizophrenia, so they just taught us like they taught any normal child. But we didn't learn or think like normal children.
True.
So they were just fucked.
I guess so. I mean, I played sports. I was encouraged to play sports, and I kept playing because I was told I was good at them. So that's why I played. And then in high school, playing sports was really my only reason to still continue high school. It was the only thing I had going for me that was fun and something I was good at, and it's the only way I made any friends. It's kind of the only reason I even went to college, really. But
so it sounds like your parents encouraging you to play sports saved your life. I mean, maybe not literally, but I mean, it put you on a better path to get help.
It really did. It did. But, you know, sports, especially at the college level, they're not easy, and it could almost make you struggle more sometimes. because it's just stressful. You work so hard and hard and hard and hard and hard, and then, you can end up losing.
Well, and there's another point. What about people who can't handle the disappointment of loss? Or people who get so stressed out about the outcome of the activity that they're in, whether it be sports or anything else, that they don't focus on other areas of their life. For example, what if you were so desperate to win a lacrosse championship that you stopped going to class and failed out of college?
That's true.
And then you wouldn't have a college degree.
Well, yes, I would.
But you'd have a lacrosse championship, which is more valuable when you're 40, a lacrosse championship or a college degree.
I get you.
Some people might say, no, I wish if I could do it all over again, I would make sure that I won the national championship.
Well, yes.
Like I wouldn't have done math.
Yeah, I get
Hell with math.
But
math is awful.
That doesn't really work, though, because lacrosse is a team sport, so everybody would have had to been doing that. I don't think I could have possibly worked harder than I worked. I worked as hard as can possibly be, honestly.
But does this mess people up? Does not understanding that you have to pay attention to all areas of your life? This is especially important for people managing mental illness. Because let's say that I put all of my energy and focus it only on managing bipolar disorder. Just think about that for a minute. I'm putting all of my time and energy in fighting a disease that is trying to kill me. So this is serious. Bipolar disorder, if left unchecked, will kill me. So I put 100% of my time into fighting bipolar disorder. On one hand, that sounds really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now I don't take a bath. I don't do diet or exercise correctly. So I'm eating potato chips and smoking and drinking. And I don't get any exercise. So like getting up and walking to the bathroom, like I can't do. So I'm just fat. And my knees give out by the time I'm 30 because I'm just, I need a hip replacement at 28. But I'm beating bipolar, I guess. Do you think that if I would have only paid attention to my mental health and ignored my physical health, that I would be where I am today?
Oh, absolutely not. I would think they totally go together.
But I don't think a lot of people realize that. I think a lot of people only, especially living with mental illness, serious and persistent mental illness, people living with schizophrenia, people living with bipolar disorder, major depression, I think they only pay attention to their mental health and they ignore their physical health. And then what happens to them? And Michelle, you understand physical health better than anybody I know.
Well, yeah, physical health is extremely, extremely important in making you feel good about yourself. I mean, just being skinny doesn't automatically mean healthy. You have to be somewhat fit. But also something that I struggle with is that my whole life I was forced to work out by playing sports. So then, not being forced to work out anymore is kind of challenging for me. I did CrossFit for a year because that kind of workout, you're being told what to do. It's so hard. It's really, really intense. But if sometimes like, let me go work out, I'm going to go for a run. I'll run for 10 minutes. Then I'm like, oh, no one's forcing me to run right now. I can just start walking and then I can go home. Yeah, I don't want to run anymore. This is really easy to quit doing. Yeah.
And on the way home, you can get an iced coffee.
Exactly. So it's like a really weird transition, but I do want to work out. I just, the motivation is not like I'm going to get in trouble if I don't. It's not like I'm working to be a great lacrosse player anymore. I'm over that now. I can't go back to being a good lacrosse player. I'm too old now.
You're too old. I love how you're too old. You're what, 30? Oh my God, the horror. You've just aged out of society. You're basically just waiting to die. 30. Oh God, no.
There's no proteins.
A few weeks ago, you talked about being a mom, and now a few weeks later, you're just like, I'm done. My dreams are over.
Of athleticism.
Of athleticism? You mean like of being a professional athlete? What about a coach? Oh my God, could you imagine Michelle as a coach?
I was a coach. I was a coach for like 2 years. I was a coach.
Aren't all the coaches old?
You should have seen me on the sidelines, Gabe. You should have seen me on the sidelines. I was a yeller. You have no idea.
You think I have no idea how you're a yeller?
Oh,
I mean, really?
But I was a positive person. I never said anything bad. It was all positive.
Oh, how do we get that back?
It was a positive yelling.
How do I sign up for that version of Michelle? Michelle, we're no longer doing a podcast.
Girls,
we're now playing lacrosse.
When the other team has the ball, who's the most important girl on the field? Gabe, do you know the answer? When the other team has the ball, who's the most important person on the field?
All of you.
The girl with the ball!
Oh.
Duh!
Why is she the most important?
She has the ball, and she's on the other team. She's the most important person on the field. Get the ball away from the person on the other team.
Why don't you disrupt the passing lane? Maybe the most important person is the person she's going to pass the ball to.
Okay, so everybody marks up. Okay, Gabe. So everybody will mark up everybody else on the field, and not the girl with the ball, so she can run down the field with the ball to the goal and shoot. Does that make any sense to you, Gabe?
When you say the most important person on the field is the person with the ball, it reminds me of like little kids playing soccer, where as soon as somebody gets the ball, all the players just swarm.
What it means is, Gabe, she has to get a mark on her before anyone else gets a mark. That girl needs to be marked up before anyone else gets a mark.
And what's a mark?
A man on her.
Gotcha. And listen, I know nothing about lacrosse. Everybody who listens to the show for more than one episode knows that Michelle is a lacrosse genius and that Gabe is a lacrosse idiot. But here's why this is so valuable. Because Michelle understands the rules of the game, and that allows her to play it better. For example, everything that she just explained, I liken to, children playing soccer. But this works so well for Michelle that while she did not win a championship, you got a scholarship. You were in Lacrosse Magazine. You were kind of a badass.
Okay, well, I didn't get a scholarship, but I was Inside Lacrosse Magazine. Yes, I was.
All right, so I'm half right. But you enjoyed your time, and you've also talked about it in terms of how it helped you with managing and getting help with schizophrenia in a way that other things may not have. But that's all because you paid attention to all of it. You didn't make assumptions, you learned. I want you to put that, and I want our listeners to think about the things that they hold deep beliefs on. Like when they look in the mirror and they say that they're fat and ugly. Just because you believe it doesn't make it true. Michelle, I have no idea if you've gained any weight. I honestly don't know. And listen, we can all stand to be healthier, to eat a few more vegetables, and to get less iced coffee, or drink Diet Coke, or not eat Cadbury eggs 3 months past, Easter before they podcast. We can all do better. But hating your life? Getting up every morning, looking in the mirror and hating yourself? That's a mental health issue, and it's something worth addressing.
I agree with that one. You don't want to wake up in the morning hating your life.
Yeah, especially since mental illness already kind of helps with that, right?
Yeah. So,
we have enough reason to hate our lives.
Working on your mental health really does mean working on your physical health as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And you know what I hate?
What?
I love how we have mental health and physical health, because isn't mental health your brain?
Which is
in your body. All mental health is physical health. Just pay attention to your health, people. Finally, I saw this really great joke online, and it made me laugh so hard that I want to share it with you, Michelle.
Please do.
It said, would you take $50,000 cash if by taking it, the person you hate more than anyone else in the world got $100,000? And I thought to myself, why on earth would I pass up a chance to get $150,000?
I like it.
Michelle, any last words?
To all the ladies and gentlemen that are looking at the people in the magazines, it's completely fake. I used to do it for a living. Those clothes do not fit like that. Those people are not built like that. Their skin is not that smooth. Trust me. If you want to get your photos retouched, you can hit me up too. Just letting you know.
I love how you hit a plug. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Remember, wherever you downloaded this podcast, if you can leave us as many stars as humanly possible and give us a great review, like literally use your words, we would appreciate that. Share us, email us, take us to support groups, make your mom and dad listen. This is a very, very, very friendly crowd, for a group of people with mental illness. Finally, go to psychcentral.com/BSP. Click on the little chalkboard, ask us your questions. They could appear in a future episode. You can also email us at show@psychcentral.com and tell us why you love us or why you hate us. We will see everybody next week.
It's fake.
You've been listening to a bipolar, a schizophrenic, and a podcast. If you love this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Head over to iTunes or your preferred podcast app to subscribe, rate, and review. To work with Gabe, go to GabeHoward.com. To work with Michelle, go to schizophrenic.nyc. For free mental health resources and online support groups, head over to PsychCentral.com. The show's official website is psychcentral.com/BSP. You can email us at show@psychcentral.com. Thank you for listening, and share widely.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. It's from SpongeBob. You don't watch SpongeBob? Well, you should. You're gonna watch it with Lenny.
Didn't the SpongeBob guy die?
What?